Right then, motorcycle fans, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a set of red lights as we're just starting this video. So the Superbike Factory, if you're into your motorcycles and you've bought motorbikes or you're looking for your first motorcycle, you have probably heard of the Superbike Factory. Now you've probably heard bad things about the Superbike Factory because that's all what I ever hear about the place. But to be truly honest with you, I'm going to give you my overall experience with the Superbike Factory, my personal opinion on the Superbike Factory. Now, if you didn't know what the Superbike Factory is, well, basically it is a massive motorcycle dealership in the UK. I think there's actually 3 of them. There's one in Donington, pretty sure there's one in Mansfield or Sheffield. I'll put down below now in the screen where they're all actually based. But basically it's a massive used bike dealership that offer basically finance to anyone. If you've got bad credit history, the Superbike Factory is the place to go. Now trust me, I know indeed about bad credit. Nice BMW S1000R, very nice. Now my previous experience with the Superbike Factory, I've owned a lot of motorcycles in my years. This one, the Fireblade and the Gixxer 750 all came from the Superbike Factory. Now you'll hear all the time how bad the bikes are, they're unreliable, their customer service is shocking and all the rest. But I'm going to be truly honest with you, I have not had one bad experience from the Superbike Factory. Now I'm going to give you some tips on what to do in this video if you're buying from the Superbike Factory and what to sort of expect. But if you're new to the channel, I recently just bought this Yamaha MT-09 from the Superbike Factory. Now I went to look at it Thursday afternoon. It was in the showroom, had a look around the bike. It's a 2016 plate, it's got 3,000 miles on the clock. So she's a pretty stunner. Now like I said, I went to look at it Thursday afternoon. I was riding this home, well, I was loading this into the back of my van Saturday lunchtime. So from the process of looking at the bike to getting the bike in my hands with the keys, with the logbook, it was a day, literally a day. Friday they got it all sorted, they went through the prep thing, it was ready to go. Now how the Superbike Factory works is basically they buy bikes cheap, they sell them cheap. It's basically all what they're doing is just flipping bikes for as little work on the bikes as possible. Like if they had a bike that came in dirty, your chances are they're probably not really going to clean it up. They'll give it a quick wash if you're lucky, and that'd be about it. So they're literally about getting the bikes in and getting them gone as quickly as possible without doing much work to them. As long as they've got at least 3 months MOT, they'll sell them to you. Now if you're looking for your first bike and you don't know what you're looking at, you don't know some of the signs, take a mechanic, take a qualified bike mechanic with you, or at least someone that's got experience with bikes, just to check little things like what's the oil level like, is the brake fluid at the sort of right levels, is the coolant at the right levels. This will give you some indication of how the bike has been previously looked at. Now at a Superbike Factory you are not allowed to test ride the bike and you are not allowed to start the bike up when you're viewing it. So these things that you've got to bear in mind. You are literally going off photos, the smallest description on the website, and that is about it. Now for me, if I was buying a bike from the Superbike Factory, I'd want it to be low mileage. I wouldn't want to be buying a high mileage bike from the Superbike Factory. And for me personally, I'd want a bike that is completely stock. Now I'll show you a picture of the Fireblade that I bought from that place. It was stock lines, stock exhaust, and to me that just gives me a good indication that the bike has been looked after. It's got an older gentleman that might have rode it or something like that. And another thing to look for, an indication of how the bike's been rode and how it's been looked after, is the tyres. If the tyres look an older sort of tyre, but it's got massive chicken strips on the side of it, to me that indicates that someone's had that bike and they've just had it for joy. They've had it to go out on a Sunday just for a nice casual ride around the Peak District or the lakes, and the bike's just been looked after. as well, when you go to the Superbike Factory, and if you are generally interested in the bike, ask for the service history. Now, don't go off their words, because they'll tell you, oh yeah, it's got service history, and then when you come to pick up the bike, they might go, oh, we can't actually find it. So when you're viewing the bike and you are generally interested and you're ready to put a down payment on it or a deposit, ask for them to go and get the service book, so you've got physical evidence that the bike is up to date with its service schedule. So like I said, don't go off the website, don't take the word for it, just ask for the physical paper documents, just so you know yourself that how the bike's been treated in the past. Has it had its service intervals, has it been looked after, and all this sort of stuff. And then as far as going to view bikes and the sort of customer service, shall we say, a lot of people on there will go, oh, it is horrendous. My only advice that I can give you is do not go at the weekend, because they have about three sales people on the shop floor. But yeah, you've probably got a good 30-40 people going there. This is just at the Donington brand where I go all the time. So I don't know what the other brand, like the other locations are like, but the Donington one on a weekend, it is rammed solid. So the sales team, they are stretched to the max. So if you're going to look at a bike and you just want a lot more details about the bike, and you want a walk around it and all this sort of stuff, and more details in general about that bike, the ABS systems and all this, go on a weekday, because they will not be anywhere near as busy on a weekday. So go on a weekday, like I said, ask for physical evidence of paperwork, just to make sure the bike's all up to date. And to be honest, I don't personally think you can go wrong. Now, as far as the warranty side of things go, me personally, every bike that I've bought from there, I've never had to take back or report any like things that have gone wrong with the bike, apart from a Gixxer 750, but that was like a year after I'd owned it, and that was the rectifier and stator burnt out. But I didn't even bother bringing them up to try and get that sorted, because it was out of warranty anyway. But they offer, I think it's 14 days from when you buy the bike. If anything goes wrong, they'll come in, pick it up, take it back. Now they do offer, I think it's 12 months warranty for £300 or something like that. Like I said, I personally didn't go with any of that. I've got good faith in this bike that it will last me, and she's a good old workhorse, so I'm personally not going to worry about anything like that. But now I do know someone from the motorbikers that basically his engine actually blew up literally pretty much a week after he bought it, and I know he did eventually get his money back from the Superbike Factory, but I think it took months and months and months to finally get it sorted. That's the only like from previous personal experience from knowing someone who had to go through it, that was their story. They did get it back, but it took months to do so. So for me, I just think it's totally pop luck on the bike, and whoever owned the bike previously. Like if it's a high mileage bike, the chances are that bike has been ragged and someone just wants to get rid of it, a quick flip, get it out of the way, go on to something new. So they'll just chuck it into the Superbike Factory, they'll buy it off you and chuck it straight back on the shop floor, as long as it's mechanically sound-ish. That's my view on the whole like subject. And like I said, let me know down below in the comments what you think of the Superbike Factory. Is it a good dealership? Would you never buy a bike from there? Have you bought a bike from there, in fact? Have you bought a bike from the Superbike Factory, and is it still in working condition? Has it blown up? Does it still work? Like I said, just let me know down below in the comments. I'll be interested to hear your story. But for me, it has been spot on. So like I said, we're going to keep this video short and sweet. Personally, take someone who you know is good with motorcycles and engines and knows the way around a bike to check it over, make sure it's legit. Go on a weekday instead of a weekend to get good customer service. Number 3, ask for physical evidence of a service history. Get them to show you the book so you know it's there, you know you're not bullcrapping or anything like that. And obviously 4, just wing it. Just wing it. Like I said, I bought 3 bikes from them, never had a problem, never had any communication issues through emails to purchasing the bike, not one single thing. So If you're buying a bike from there, good luck. I hope it works out well for you. Like I said, it has done for me previously, so I hope it does for you. If you're new to this channel, then it really would be appreciated if you press that like and subscribe and leave a comment if you do enjoy this content. And I'll see you all again next week, 6 PM, sharpish. So long.